Hey everybody, it's Mickey, and in today's video we are in the kitchen. I'm sharing with you which will probably be my last grocery haul for a while. I have an awesome crockpot recipe to get you ready for fall, and we have a kitchen update. So if you are new here, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. I put out new videos every week about all things home. A quick PS, we have construction going on at the house, so you are going to hear some noise in the background. I really apologize for that, but it gets better later in the video. So I have what's probably going to be my last grocery haul for a little while until the kitchen is done. So you probably won't see a grocery haul from me until October, I hope. So today I just got a few things to get us over the hump. I have been cooking a little bit extra and putting things in the freezer so that my hubby and I can have, meals that we can just like stick in the microwave and heat up, and so we don't have to go out to eat like every night. So what I picked up today is I got a couple packages of chicken. I'm going to be making some Crockpot Marry Me chicken today, which is one of our favorites. It makes a lot, so it's a really good recipe to freeze. I got some sweet potatoes, a couple russet potatoes for a baked potato. I'm gonna try these tuna creations. I got the herb and garlic. My husband used to get these when he traveled, and he said that they were pretty good, and I thought it might be a good idea to try them out so I can have a little something at home for lunch when the kitchen is shut down. I also got a package of Parmesan cheese. I have 2 packages here of broccoli. In the back here, I got my favorite white cheddar Cheez-Its and 2 boxes of the Cheddar Bay Biscuit Red Lobster mix. I'm going to be making a chicken cobbler somewhere down the line this week. I also have a jar here of some Alfredo sauce, a package of strawberries, a small package of fresh spinach. I have some little applesauce cups here to go in the fridge. I also have a couple zucchinis, a container of sour cream, some Greek yogurt. I got myself another container of the Weber's garlic Parmesan seasoning. I had tried the Kinder's brand. I usually like pretty much anything that Kinder's put out, but I really think that the Weber's garlic Parmesan is so much better. It just has a more authentic, kind of cheesier taste than the Kinder, so I got myself another container of that. What else do I have here? Oh, I have some sun-dried tomatoes for my Marry Me chicken, and I have a container here of mayo. I think that was everything. So I'm going to put this all away. I've been really trying to use up what I already have in my freezer and in my pantry, just so that there's not that much food to pack up and store for a couple months. So I'm going to put this away, and I will meet you back in the kitchen. I thought I would give you a quick update on the kitchen. Construction has started, and things are going to start to change a little bit around here. If you are new here, we are putting a 2-story addition onto the house, which will allow us to expand our kitchen by quite a bit, something that we have wanted to do for a long time, and we're finally doing it. So I thought I would show you an updated drawing of what the kitchen is going to look like. So we had worked with the designer on a couple different layouts. Originally, there were cabinets all along the back wall here, and I loved it. I thought that it was so much storage, it would be so great, but it just didn't give me that cozy feeling like I wanted in my kitchen. So what we decided to do was to split things up a little bit and create a food prep area on this side of the kitchen, and then to create a dining and entertaining space on this side of the kitchen. So the only thing that's going to be a little bit different than this drawing is that instead of the stained island like we have here, we decided to go with a white island that is going to match our cabinet. Stove hood was going to be our stained piece, and I have a little picture of that, which I think is going to be so pretty. So this is the hood that they're going to build for me. I think that it's going to be so pretty and be, you know, like a focal point of the kitchen. We decided on this stain for the hood. So something that I didn't know that I just learned is that there are cool, neutral, and warm shades of wood. I mean, who knew? I didn't know that. And I guess I tend to go towards a more neutral shade. I mean, like, big surprise, you know, my house is completely neutral. So that's what they've told me that I like, apparently. So this is the wood that they're going to build the hood out of. I like it a whole bunch because it has a very matte finish. I like, you know, matte finishes more than something that is a high gloss or a shiny finish. So the rest of the kitchen, other than the hood, is going to be these white cabinets, and the color that I've chosen is more of like a warmer white. It is not a really bright, cool white tone. This is called Nordic white, and I think that it's going to be a really nice difference. The cabinets that I have now are more ivory, which I love, but over the years they have tended to reflect more of like a yellow tone, which I kind of wanted to stay away from. So this is going to be the cabinets along with the hood. And I think I had shared with you guys before the quartz that we had chosen. This is the piece of quartz, and as you can see here too, this is more like a warmer shade of white, and it has a lot of these neutral color tones that are, you know, all throughout the quartz. I think that is going to be really pretty. So the one thing that I don't think I shared with you was our backsplash. So this is what we're going to go with our backsplash. I believe these are marble tiles, and I like them a lot because, again, they have that matte finish, so they're not glossy, not highly reflective. I really like that so much better. And they also have a very rustic line to them. Like, as you can see in these, it's really very rustic and rough and more like what a brick would be, and I really like that look. I like something that looks a little lived in, and I liked it too that each of the tiles were not exactly the same shade, so I think that is also going to help bring in, you know, the wood of the hood and the different colorings of the quartz. And we're just going to do it in a very traditional brick pattern. There are so many different designs that they can do with your backsplash, but honestly, I think my favorite is just a very simple, you know, brick pattern, nothing too fancy. It's kind of like me. You know, I'm very simple, nothing too fancy. So another big decision that we made was for flooring. We have to replace our hardwood from the front door all the way out through the new addition. So that was a really big decision because I love the floor that I have now. I love the color of it. I think it is just beautiful, and it has really been a hard-working floor. It's gone through 4 kids, 2 big dogs, a house full of people. It's really done a great job. So after a lot of looking, going into so many different flooring stores, we came across a floor that is such a great match to it. And this is a hickory wood. It's called Holbrook Vintage. It's from Eastern Flooring, and I love it. I think that it's going to be so beautiful. I like the fact that, you know, the planks are all a little bit different color, so I think that it's going to also give a little bit more of a vintagey kind of rustic look. And I like too that the planks are a little bit wider than what we have now, so that'll give it a different look as well. And I think it's all together, it's going to be really pretty. You know, starting this project, I had no idea the amount of decisions that we had to make. And you know, although it was really fun going to all these different stores and making these decisions, it was hard, you know, because there are so many choices out there. And so it was really hard to kind of choose really what I wanted. So I think we did a really good job. I think this is all going to look so pretty together, and I am excited for it all to be done and we could move back into the space. So until that is done, you know, things are going to look a little bit different here on the channel. I'm going to try to really stay up to date with posting every week. Things are just going to be a little bit different. I think I'm going to concentrate more on organizing bedrooms and bathrooms and working on some wedding DIY. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I just ask that you all have patience with me because it is going to be a little bit noisy in here, going to be a little bit dusty, and it'll just look a little different. But I'm excited to bring you guys along the journey with me, and I can't wait to see the finished product. So I thought I would show you really quick what I made myself for lunch. I have a little tuna and salad wrap here, a couple Cheez-It crackers. So the other day when I was in Target, I had bought one of those chopped salad kits. This is the everything seasoned, and it has like lettuce, cabbage, broccoli shreds, carrots, all the good things that are in your salad. But it also comes with I think an everything seasoning. There's some croutons in there and some really yummy dressing. So I put this in a bowl and I added some of that herb and garlic tuna creations and just kind of mixed it up and piled it in a tortilla shell. So that's what I'm gonna have for lunch. I think it looks really good, you know, something different. A little bit more veggies in your diet never hurt anybody. So that's what I'm gonna have for lunch today. So this is the type of day the Crockpot meals are really made for. I am going to spend most of the day packing up the kitchen. I'm kind of taking my time with it because I want to make sure that I'm only packing the things that I'm really using. So I thought a Crockpot meal would be perfect, so I know that dinner is already taken care of. I found this recipe on Facebook, on a friend's Facebook page, and she says this recipe is delicious. So this is for Crockpot Marry Me Chicken. It has a bunch of ingredients, which I think is a good thing because the more stuff you put in, the better it's going to taste. So what you're going to need for this recipe is some boneless, skinless chicken breast. I have a little over 2 pounds here. You're going to need about a cup of chicken broth. I only had vegetable broth, but I'm sure that will be just fine. You'll need a jar of Alfredo sauce, a packet of Italian dressing seasoning mix. I've always used Good Seasons. I really think it's one of the best out there. You're going to need some sun-dried tomatoes, some shredded Parmesan cheese, some mozzarella cheese, and you're gonna need a bunch of seasonings. Now I'm going to add, of course, salt and pepper. I have a little ranch seasoning here, some paprika, garlic powder, and Mrs. Dash. And then later on in the recipe, you are going to need a container of baby spinach. So once this is all put together, you're also going to need whatever kind of pasta you want to put it over. I am just using this ratatouille pasta that I got from Target. I think that's everything that we're going to need for this recipe. I just have my regular crock pot here. I'm just going to prep it a little bit with some non-stick cooking spray and we will get cooking. So I have my chicken in the crock pot and I have it seasoned really well with all the seasonings that I had mentioned. I also added some of that garlic Parmesan seasoning from Weber's. I've been adding that pretty much whenever I can. So to this we are going to add a whole jar of Alfredo sauce. I'm gonna put a little bit of broth in here and shake it up to make sure I get every last drop. I have a cup of vegetable broth. You can use chicken broth or whatever you have on hand. I'm also going to put in a good portion of this packet of Good Seasons Italian dressing mix. I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. We put the whole thing in there. A little extra seasoning never hurt anybody. I'm going to put the rest of the Alfredo sauce in, and then we are going to add, I'm going to say, a good handful of some mozzarella and provolone cheese, and then I'm also going to add a good handful of the Parmesan cheese. I'll add a little bit more of that. And I'm just going to loosely kind of mix this around just to make sure that the chicken is pretty well covered. Now I've cut my chicken up a little bit because this is going to cook to the point where your chicken is going to be very shreddable. So I like to cut it up a little bit to start because I think that it just allows it to cook a little bit quicker and really does aid you in that shredding process. Okay, so I almost forgot to add these sun-dried tomatoes, which is a big part of this recipe. I'm going to add probably the majority of this jar because I think that they are so yummy. All right, so that looks good. And I'm just going to spread them around a little bit. And now we're going to put on the lid and cook it. And don't worry about that little extra olive oil in there. That's just going to just add to the flavor of this dish. So we are going to cover this, and I'm going to start it off on high for about an hour, and then I'm going to turn it back down to low to maybe 3 or 4 hours, and we will check the temperature then. So since I had one crock pot going, I thought it would be a good idea to start another one. In this one, I am making some barbecue pork for later on in the week. I thought this would be really great for a quick sandwich. I just have, I guess this is like a 2-pound pork roast in here. I have it seasoned really well with a lot of garlic, a lot of onion, salt and pepper, all those good things. And then I am just going to dump a little bit of brown sugar on top and probably the majority of this bottle of hickory and brown sugar barbecue sauce from Sweet Baby Ray's. This is like my favorite barbecue sauce of all time. And then I'm just going to cook this on low for several hours, and I'll shred it up and I'll just add it into the refrigerator so we can pull it out as we need it during the week. Little packing station that I have set up in the dining room. I'm not going to bore you with watching me pack up because I'm sure we've all packed before and you know how exciting it is. But so I got these containers from Costco at an excellent price because we were going to use cardboard, but we are always using containers like this to put away decorations, to send home things with the kids and, to carry stuff in the back of the car. So we just said, instead of, a bunch of cardboard, these are reusable. We can use them for so many things, and decided to use them to pack everything up. So as you can see, I'm just making little labels for each of these containers. So when it comes to unpacking, I'll have a better idea on where everything goes. There's a bunch of containers there underneath the table as well. I have a bunch of stuff on top that I'm working on, and we are just packing away. It goes a little slow because, like I said, I'm really going through everything. I don't have a lot of fluff in my kitchen because it just wasn't big enough to have, a special kitchen tool for, for one thing. So there wasn't a lot of waste, but it's good to go through things anyway. I have a lot of my done there sitting on my china cabinet because I really didn't want to wrap it up and put it in a box. Not sure where it's going to go in the new space, but you know, that'll be fun on the other end of all of this, unpacking it. This is what I'm going to be working on this afternoon. Our crock pot is almost done cooking, so I'll share the next step to our recipe and how it looks when it's all plated up. It's been a few hours. I'm going to check on the temperature of our Marry Me chicken. I'm sure it is done, because it has been boiling away here. Oh yeah, it's definitely done. It's probably, yeah, it's gonna hit almost 200. So it is definitely done. So I have rinsed my spinach here, and I'm going to add probably the majority of this container to the pot here, because you know that it looks like a ton of spinach, but it always wilts down to almost nothing. So we're going to put some in there and stir it in. Oops, sorry about that. There we go. I actually think that's probably enough, but I'm going to put just a little bit more in there. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the lid back on here, and I'm going to start to boil my pasta. We're going to let this go. I'm going to probably put it on warm because it is pretty boiling in there. And I have my water going here for our pasta. We're going to boil it up, and then I will plate it and let you see what it looks like when it's all done. Your house is going to smell so good if you make this recipe. I know it's going to be delicious. So here's the Marry Me chicken all plated up. I just gave the chicken a really light shredding. I didn't shred it completely. I wanted there to be some, you know, some really good sized chicken pieces in here. I just added a little bit of Romano cheese on top, and I think it looks delicious. It smells so good. I'm sure this is a recipe that your family is going to love as well. You'll have to let me know in the comments down below if you try it or not. I'll leave all the details to this recipe and anything else that I mentioned in the video down below. That's going to do it for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you are new here, I hope you will join our communities over on Facebook and Instagram at My Bashful Life. Be sure to check the description box down below for any links mentioned in today's video. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have. Be kind to each other, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.